All observations of the top court. Now, the bail of not just him, also his partner, Pavitra Gowda, has also been cancelled, along with 5 others who were out on bail. So, they've all been arrested. These are fresh visuals of today, where Pavitra Gowda was taken into arrest right from her home. The court also took serious note of Darshan's 5-star treatment in custody, pointing to some viral photographs of Darshan smoking in prison, having his nice chai in the lawn, all of it with gangster J. Nagaraj inside jail. The very famous poster picture of Darshan's VIP treatment from inside Parapanagrahara prison. Now, the court said it was the jail superintendent's duty to ensure that this does not happen. And if at all this happens again, then be sure that the jail officials will be suspended. This has come straight from the top court, a warning that such misconduct, be it a photograph being released or, Darshan seen in such a fashion inside the jail premises with a cigarette or chai in the lawns, any of this comes out to public, then strict action should be taken against jail officials. None other than the top court directing this. So, of course, at this point, all pressure falls on the new ADGP prisons, B. Dayananda. Dayananda, who was recently suspended in the RCB Stampede case, he's been reinstated. He has now been posted as ADGP prisons. He's going to be overseeing Darshan's case as well. So all responsibility on him now to ensure Darshan abides by prison rules. Darshan has also been moving in and out of the country at least twice. He's got permission from the court itself while he was granted bail. He was also granted permission to go abroad, shoot on his film Devil and come back. So twice over, he's gone back and forth. So clearly here, the Supreme Court taking very clear note that this is wrong precedent set. Supreme Court intervention here, the Karnataka government's appeal after they basically said that this is not right, giving him bail, allowing to go back to his normal life is not the right precedent they want to set in the state. So Karnataka government's appeal to the Supreme Court seems like has brought yield. Darshan now is back behind bars, and this surely underlines that stardom offers no shield from the rule of law. All right, let me quickly bring in our guests. We have, of course, our former ADGP, the Karnataka Police, who joins me live here, Sanjay Sahai, who's been with me on this and through this as we've covered Darshan's story. Sanjay Sahai, thank you very much. We also have Mr. Rajiv Nanda, Senior Advocate of the Supreme Court. I appreciate you joining us last moment, sir. Let me start with Sanjay. A quick word from you, Sanjay, on from what we see here, Darshan being arrested in quite a dramatic fashion. And for our viewers who are watching and know Darshan, we hear the man wanted to surrender. So he was just not in the places where he ideally should have been. The cops were a little confused where he was. There was little speculation whether he escaped after the Supreme Court's verdict. And there was no communication to where Darshan was, and finally after a tip-off they realized that he was in his wife's house. So we hear that he was trying to basically make this as dramatic as it could be by surrendering himself in court and whatnot, but before that the cops busted that.
See, Darshan has been trying to get the better side of law on his side from the beginning itself. So first he got produced 4 fake accused. After that, we got to know that he had paid these people for whatever, 30 lakh, 20 lakh, 25 lakhs, whatever. When he went to jail, then he started his partying, and the Supreme Court today says that in case the Parapanagrahara administration does something of this nature again, then they will be forced to act or they will give directives to act. Why the Supreme Court did not give directive to act in this particular instances when everything is documented, I have absolutely no idea. From there, they start with the bail story. So the bail story reached its first level of success on October the 30th, when it was proven to the court that he needs a spinal surgery or there is some huge problem in his back. He was released on interim bail for 6 weeks. In 6 weeks' time, literally nothing was done. And all the medical records which support his normal conditions, but for, I think, Dr. Naveen, who has written about his blood.
Sahai, we seem to have a problem with your connection, but before we clear that, Mr. Rajiv, if you can come in on this. We're looking at the Supreme Court's order here, really exposing a deep rot when it comes to celebrities using their influences. They managed to get their way, and it's unfortunate that the High Court thought this case was fit. And Darshan was fit enough to be granted bail while the man flouted jail norms, prison guidelines. He claimed that he had backache. He did not even attend hearings. But then he was seen later being part of film screenings and whatnot. He was moving about his daily life but giving reasons to the court. And yet the court granted him bail and let him go abroad twice. The High Court has been pulled up for violating the principle of law. What does this speak of?
Well, Supreme Court is supreme. And nobody is above the Supreme Court at the moment in this country. But then with all respects to the Supreme Court here, I have a different view here. I mean, he has been made to pay just because, as we are all talking, that he's actor so-and-so. I mean, he's paying price for being a celebrity. The law of jurisprudence has been set aside. The jurisprudence of bail has been totally ignored here. What is wrong with the High Court order? The normal jurisprudence we have studied of the bail is that the person should not be in a position to tamper with the witness. He should not be in a position to hamper the trial, and he should not run away from the jurisdiction. Are any of the three principles applicable here? If not, then why this Darshan actor should be made to suffer just because he is a celebrity? I mean, it is so totally absurd. Where is the shoe pinching? Is the shoe pinching that he was smoking in the jail? Is the shoe pinching that he went abroad? These are not the principles for grant of bail, or certainly not the principle for rejection of bail. That if he was found smoking in the jail, then where are we going?
You're basically saying that just because he was found smoking inside prison, just because he was sent abroad to complete his shoot, the Supreme Court saying that his bail should be cancelled is not fair.
Yeah, this is what I am certainly saying. I am not mincing my words. I am very clear with utmost respect to Supreme Court here. I mean, the principles of grant of bail are different and principles of cancellation of bail are different. Here, I think there is an error in the judgment, which perhaps may be looked into later, but all these will be proved whether he is guilty. The gravity of offence in earlier time was never a principle, or at least were very remotely a principle to grant or reject a bail. Okay. But now today, look at it, why his bail has been cancelled. I don't hold a brief for this actor.
So it's very interesting. Mr. Rajiv basically has a point here. He says that bail is a person's right.
Yes.
And Darshan is now paying the price for being a celebrity. He has to go back to prison because his bail has been cancelled, all because he's a celebrity. Mr. Sanjay, your take on this. A 5-star treatment given to a celebrity. How common is it for people to get 5-star treatment? For criminals to get 5-star treatment?
No, it is radically different from whatever is being told. See, this particular accused or suspect, whatever you call him. So once he is producing a fake accused, and the person who is producing fake accused, how can we give him a clean sheet that he will not influence investigation? Then what he does in jail certainly would have brought people together. That is why I am of the opinion that jail administration also disciplinary action needs to be taken, and something which becomes a role model for the jail administration to fall in line or to do whatever they are supposed to do. Then he gets an interim bail. Now the interim bail condition is primarily that he will undergo surgery, and that does not happen. In spite of that, the High Court, when there is a clear-cut bail hearing where SPP has told literally anything and everything which is required in the case and what was going wrong, still he is being given a regular bail. It does not stop there. This person is allowed to go and shoot in Dubai and Europe, and also in Hong Kong, if I am not mistaken. The first one he is not able to fulfill for whatever reasons known to him. He gets a second chance. So from 30th of October till 14th of August, he has been out on bail on literally things which he did not comply to the court orders. And that is where the Supreme Court has found clear-cut fault. And today also, Darshan is in a position to influence things, and the type of clout which he carries even outside of whatever is the governmental mechanism or the criminal justice ecosystem, he has a huge clout. Let's be very clear about it.
You know, I just have one question to Mr. Rajiv. You have the Supreme Court basically pulling up the High Court, saying that you violated the principle of law. You've overlooked basic proof that the case has with regards to forensic tests and the fact that DNA test, the witness statements, all of it, which hints and directs at Darshan committing the crime. The case is he is still under trial. But of course, these allegations and evidences are concrete enough for the court to not have granted him normal bail the way they did. How do you unsee that, Mr. Rajiv?
No, I'm sorry. This, whether there are proofs, clear proofs and all that, these are all presumptions before the trial. What for the trial is there? Ultimately, if these kind of proofs are to make him guilty or not guilty, then why trial? Trial is meant to prove his innocence or the guilt.
So you are overlooking the fact that the man can actually influence witnesses while he's out. He has enough clout to do that.
All these are accusations that he brought in some false victim, these accused and all that. I don't say whether he has or he has not, but I am against reiterating those three principles. Whether he would have run away from the country, or the Supreme Court could have, or the High Court could have, the bail granting court could have imposed conditions that he will not enter the state, or he will not enter the South India, he will remain in the northern part of India, or such kind of conditions, whereby
basically they shouldn't have cancelled his bail. That's what you're saying.
I am basically in favor of the liberty of a person. Article 21 is a guarantor of liberty of the person in India. And we are all bound by the Constitution of India. I am not saying anything against Supreme Court. The Honorable Supreme Court is Supreme Court. They must have passed an order keeping in view certain facts and circumstances. I am only reiterating that perhaps the basic principles have been, there is a miscarriage.
But I should tell you, Mr. Rajiv, that the larger public perception was that this was granted to Darshan because he's a high-profile personality. He's a celebrity with clout. That's the perception that. Let's not forget the fact that a common person will never be able to get bail and go out of country and come back and go back to their their regular way of life if he or she was a murder accused. Doesn't happen so commonly. Murder accused in such serious cases are usually behind bars. Forget bail.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's paying the price just because he's a celebrity.
No, but I'm saying non-celebrities never get this priority treatment, no?
This happened, we had yet another film star from the Hindi film industry who was accused of killing a deer somewhere in Rajasthan. He too had to suffer a lot. And similarly, we have so many examples just because they were celebrated. See, as I said, I am not holding any brief for a particular accused here. I am simply reiterating what I feel are the principles for grant of bail and certainly for cancellation of bail. Here we are not having a case of grant of bail. This is a case of cancellation of bail. The principles are stricter.
The Supreme Court deemed that this bail granted to Darshan was on flimsy grounds and not right. The Supreme Court, of course, has detailed it, and it's the apex court. We respect it. But
of course, yes.
Just to analyze, I'm reiterating the fact that there's nothing that can be done now. The judgment has already come out and Darshan is arrested. He's behind bars again. But Mr. Sanjay, as the Supreme Court has detailed, saying that the High Court has overlooked so many aspects of this case, the seriousness, the gravity of this case, and given this man bail. Do you agree with it? As a former cop in Karnataka, how easy it is for a person who has murder allegations on him or her to get bail, go out of the country and go about doing their film shoots and their duties and come back with ease? And then VIP treatment. I'm going to stress on that. VIP treatment. How often and how common is VIP treatment for prisoners?
We'll come to that. But I think around 65-70% of the prisoners are under trials. So that explains how easy it is to get bail or not to get bail. I'm leaving aside the evidence part of it, the influence part of it. I'm literally leaving everything aside. What I'm talking about, that the High Court of Karnataka was taken for a ride. And they went for that ride. So they gave interim bail for something which did not happen. Actually, that specified treatment was not administered. And then different documents have been given and he moved out of the hospital, even without that particular treatment. Where was the reason to allow this accused to go and get treated in a private hospital? There are any number of government hospitals in a big city like Bangalore who have the capability to provide this sort of a treatment. With regards to influence, what he would have done, what he would not have done, and what my esteemed panelist is talking about, that the conditions for granting of bail and cancellation of bail are different. The conditions for granting of bail was itself flouted. And from there, the whole story starts. And anybody going out of India for a film shoot being a murder charge-sheeted accused, I think it is, I have not heard of it. I tell you very frankly, I have not heard it. Whether influence has played, incompetence has played.
So Mr. Rajiv says that his celebrity status he's paying the price for, because ideally bail should be his right. Now because he's a popular celebrity, he's now gone back to jail. But you think otherwise, that his celebrity status gave him the leeway, gave him that leverage, allowed him to go out of country twice, allowed him to live a comfortable life in the few months in the name of surgery, back pain, etc. He got bail and he was going about his film reviews. You have a film screening. I have that shot for you on our screens here, where he was part of a film screening. He said he has back pain, he has to undergo surgery, but he was going around doing his film screenings.
I am not talking about celebrity status or lack of celebrity status. What I am saying is that based on the evidence available, he was able to take the High Court for a ride which is clearly substantiated.
So that's what I'm saying. How many of them have the capacity to take the High Court for a ride? If you don't have the influence and if you're not a celebrity, you don't have the means, you can't. So he has all of it. So celebrity status has benefited in your view.
See, what I'm telling you, I'll talk you from a pure investigation.
You're saying exactly what I'm saying, but we're phrasing it differently. All right.
We can explain the same situation differently.
Absolutely. But so a final word as I wrap here. Do you believe the Supreme Court has corrected the wrong?
Yeah, it has. And I think it should go as a lesson for all these high courts and the lower courts who believe that bail is a right even in cases where the punishment is more than 7 years. Where punishment is less than 7 years, bail is a right, but large number of courts are not granting bail in those cases. So bail as a right is, with inverted commas, under different conditions, under different accentuating circumstances or the lack of it.
Mr. Rajiv, I'll end with you.
Yes. See, yes, perhaps what he is saying is right. But here the thing is, if we go by this kind of principle, no lower court, no high court is going to grant bail to anybody. So it has to be seen in a larger perspective, that what message, I am not at all saying that he was right in not attending the court hearings. I am not at all saying that he was right in
But there's also something called perception, no, Mr. Rajiv. We've heard so many verdicts coming out from the Supreme Court that this is wrong precedent set. What perception, what example does this set? He's a celebrity with responsibility. He has a following. And not just with this case, many other cases, perception is always factored in while a verdict is given.
We don't go by perception, we go by rule of law. This country is governed by rule of law. We are all governed by the constitution and the law. We don't go by perceptions, please.
Okay, I'll take your word on that. Thank you very much. I really appreciate both of you for taking your time and joining us on this story. We will continue following up. On that note, a quick break. We'll be right back with meat ban on Independence Day on the other side.
चंदू के चाचा ने चंदू के चाची को चांदनी रात में चांदी के चम्मच से चटनी, कोकोनट चटनी चटाई।
Go condoms?
It's over there.
क्या ये different sizes में आता है?
Actually sir, size matter नहीं करता.
तो फिर क्या matter करता है?
The hardness
Of the condom.
of what's inside.
For the first time ever, presenting Hard Rock Gel, the hardness gel for men.
अब free हर score condoms के 10s pack के साथ.
Chandigarh, Coimbatore, NCR and Bangalore, Jaipur, Ahmedabad, Raipur and Hyderabad. We've been here, we've been there, Vikas been just everywhere. ये शहर भी तो अंगना तेरा मेरा, इसको भी रंग दो।
Birla Opus Paints.
What are you watching, Dad?
Don't you often say, think before investing in the stock market? So I'm trying to gain some knowledge.
From whom?
That's this stocks expert. Makes great educational videos. Gives good investment tips too.
Dad, don't rely on such videos. Do your own research or contact a SEBI registered investment advisor. In the name of education, some influencers often misguide investors. You will have to bear the losses.
Welcome back. Let me take you through news on meat ban right on Independence Day. Celebrating freedom on Independence Day, yet telling people what they can't eat. That's the very definition of an oxymoron. In Maharashtra, the civic body is there, from Kalyan Dombivali to Malegaon, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Jalgaon, Nagpur. All have ordered slaughterhouses and meat shops to shut on Independence Day, August 15th. They've cited a 3-decade-old Congress-era rule in 1988 under Shankar Rao Chavan, first enforced when Sharad Pawar was the chief minister. At that point, this rule was enforced, yes. But it continues in 2025. Officials in Maharashtra say this is just routine step for public order based on tradition that we've been following since 1988. But regulating the plate of a citizen, even for one day, is nothing but curbing personal liberty and an intrusion into livelihoods. The irony here, the ruling Mahayuti government in Maharashtra are not even on the same page. The same ruling, within the government itself, there seems to be anti-voices. Maharashtra's own Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar has opposed this move, criticizing his own government or his own civic body's move on banning meat. Let's hear it.
उदाहरणार्थ आषाढी एकादशी असेल, महाशिवरात्र असेल, महावीर जयंती असेल, अशा काही महत्त्वाच्या दिवस असतात त्यावेळेस. आता स्वातंत्र्य दिन हा देशाला स्वातंत्र्य मिळून 78 वर्ष होत आहेत.
Now the opposition, of course, the Congress, Shiv Sena, NCP, SP, all of them slamming the move. I'm going to take you through Aditya Thackeray's version.
स्वातंत्र्य दिन पे हम क्या खाएं, हमारा अधिकार है, हमारा स्वातंत्र्य है. वो नहीं हमें बता सकते कि वेज खाएं नॉन वेज खाएं. हम तो बिल्कुल नॉन वेज खाएंगे. हमारे घर में खाते हैं. हमारे घर में नवरात्रि को भी हम, हमारा जो प्रसाद होता है उसमें प्रॉन्स होते हैं, मच्छी होती है, क्योंकि ये हमारी परंपरा है, ये हमारा हिंदुत्व है.
Well, Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis now is really in the middle of this all. He himself is confused on what stance to take. Basically, with his own Deputy Chief Minister not approving of this, he also says, well, we are not here to decide who eats what, but we are just following an old 1988 Congress era rule. Listen in.
ये फैसला कोई इस सरकार ने लिया हुआ नहीं है. 1988 से ये फैसला चला आया है. हमने कोई नया फैसला किया नहीं है. जब उद्धव ठाकरे भी चीफ मिनिस्टर थे तब भी ये फैसला था, अब भी वो फैसला है. हमने कोई नया फैसला लिया नहीं है.
Well, this is not just Maharashtra. It seems like this ruling also has now been imposed in Telangana by the civic body there. The Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation in Hyderabad has ordered meat shops to be shut down on Independence Day, drawing fire from Asauddin Owaisi, AIMIM's party chief, who basically stated the obvious. What on earth does eating meat have to do with celebrating independence?
ये अजीब व गरीब ऑर्डर है और मेरी नज़र में ये अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल ऑर्डर है. यौम आज़ादी है, खुशी का मौका है और हम आज़ादी की लड़ाई में हमारे बुजुर्गों ने क्या क्या कुर्बानियाँ दी थी. तो अब उस दिन भी अगर हम ये बोलेंगे कि नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक नहीं है, वो ठीक नहीं है, मुझे समझ में नहीं आया ऑर्डर। भाई शराब पीकर कोई गलत काम कर सकता है, मगर ये तो लाइवलीहुड है ना उसकी, जो गोश्त बेचना बेचारे लोग, और उसमें ये तो कोई मोर देन 90% करीब लोग तेलंगाना में गोश्त खाते हैं।
Well, you heard it from the leaders. Sure, ban on days like Gandhi Jayanti or Maharveer Jayanti, all on grounds of historic significance and moral grounds, because both leaders stood for vegetarianism, still is understandable. But Independence Day, one only wonders if these orders on a day like Independence Day will push vigilante mobs to threaten, harass, or maybe even worse, all in the name of hurting religious sentiments. It gives them a free way. India's freedom was won to liberate its people and not to micromanage diet of Indians. Maharashtra and India at large thrive because of their diversity in faith, in language, in tradition, in cuisine. If freedom means anything at all, then it must include the freedom to eat what you choose. So the real question here tonight, should these meat bans be rolled back on Independence Day immediately? Is eating meat a crime? Or are we just quietly letting a state decide exactly what freedom really means? I'm joined in by Sameer Bakre, spokesperson of BJP Maharashtra. We also have Bhavna Sharma Jain, spokesperson of the Congress, and also Chandrasekhar Jha, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena. I'd like to take in Bhavna Sharma first, Congress spokesperson. Bhavna, under your government in Telangana, you have the civic body there imposing a meat ban on Independence Day. We know that you've appealed. I'm not sure if you've appealed. Have you appealed to the court?
I think the whole idea of a meat ban on or any kind of food, stoppages for citizens, or telling citizens what to eat or what not to eat on an Independence Day, as you rightly said, is an oxymoron. And we are completely against it, and we don't stand for the, right to that government has any right to say what a citizen.
So what are you doing under your own government? No, because my only thing is I know where your stand is, what your stand is now, but there's not much you can say, because your own state in Telangana has a ban. Your own state in Telangana, Hyderabad, has imposed a ban. We know the civic body is largely governed by the BJP. We know that, but yet
that is exactly what I was going to say. This ideology, this idea of telling people what to do is not a Congress way in the country. It is a way of the BJP.
But ironically, the rule came in 1988 under the Congress regime. It was a Congress era rule.
But what is so relevant about what happened 30 years back? Is it relevant today? Every time some decision is made, they put it on the past. What are they doing now? That is the question. Question is on Fadnavis's government. And it's not just one municipal corporation, it's multiple municipal corporations in Maharashtra that are doing. In Hyderabad, there's a BJP-run municipal corporation which has done the same thing that what is being done in Maharashtra. So it's very obvious where this trend is coming from. It's very, very blatant to the people of this country that this ban is a way that BJP wants to dictate.
So right now you're tossing it to the BJP altogether. So let me bring in the BJP spokesperson here, Sameer Bakre. Would you want to justify this? It seems like your own Mahayuti coalition in Maharashtra is divided. A question that was asked to Devendra Fadnavis, your chief minister there, he too was taking a very diplomatic stand, saying we are just following tradition. He says we are not forcing people what to eat, what not to eat, but shutting meat shops in a way is directing them on what to eat or what not to eat.
See, Nabila ji, Devendra ji stated what was the fact. And I was listening to Congress spokesperson. She was going back 30 years, saying that it was 30 years ago. So what is relevant today? Let me remind her that in 2021, when all the three parties were in power, Congress, UBT and NCP, the order was issued. So it is not 30 years ago, it is even 4 years ago it was issued. So opposition has a selective amnesia when the issue comes. And Nabila ji, let me tell you that why they are bringing this issue, because there is a bankruptcy of ideas. They cannot compete with Mr. Devendra Fadnavis on development, agriculture development, industry, infrastructure. So these issues they are bringing up, it is a municipal corporation which has issued. There is no state government order.
If you may allow me, sir, can I quickly go into Chandrasekhar Jha's opinion on this? He said, you were in power in 2021. under Uddhav Thackeray's leadership, the ban was imposed. I'd like to understand what's your stance today in 2025 on meat ban on Independence Day in Maharashtra.
See, the thing is that the BJP has started to divide the people on food also.
No, but he literally said that under your government you had a ban too.
Started with the religion, now on the verge of food too.
No, don't shift goalposts, sir. I'm asking you a straight question off the bat.
On the next day, even right on shelter, you'll be divided. So everything will be now
okay,
be divided.
All that said and done, you under your government also there was a meat ban imposed. So I'm asking you, you are now against the ban, are you? Let's get that cleared for our viewers. Are you against the ban?
Yes. See, okay, if it is a religious festival, okay. But even
okay, so we understood exactly what I said too. Religious festival, Gandhi Jayanti, Mahavir Jayanti, these people advocated against eating meat. So in respect, a meat ban on a day like that is still acceptable. But Independence Day, that's just absolutely bizarre. But your take on, while you were in power, the ban was imposed, you kept silent. And now when the BJP is in power or an alliance led by the BJP is in power, you have a problem?
See, we did not impose particularly on each and every day. We imposed on some festival days, but that too with some riders, not particularly to ban some kind of meat on certain days. So on that too on the Independent Day, but it's a complete bizarre. And I don't know which kind of government does this, because see the eating habits in Northeast, in Eastern states, in Western states, in Southern states, in Northern, totally different. So you cannot particularly keep a blanket ban. You could have asked for that.
The next day is Janmashtami, so I'm assuming that also is a
for the Janmashtami, I'm not going into that topic. But on Independence Day, who does that?
So maybe it's like a blanket ban. Chalo, Janmashtami is a day later, so Independence Day and Janmashtami both clubbed together. Let's ban meat for 2 days. That is not as simple. You have livelihood, banking. Even 1 day's ban is massive losses for people whose livelihood depends on meat sales, and people who want to eat meat generally. Who I can tell you for sure that people eat meat on a daily basis, can't go a day without eating meat. So it does impact. It does have an impact, even 1 day. But still, you did not give me a satisfactory answer. Under your regime, you allowed for the meat ban to prevail. Now you are opposing it. That's not an. I still haven't got an answer from you on that. But Sameer, you wanted to come in on this.
See, like UBT has left Hindutva, now they also forgetting what circular their government was issuing. So it's a somersault party which changes its stand every now and then. Recently, they created a rift in the society between Marathi speaking and non-Marathi speaking people. So these people want to divide society on language issues, on regional issues, and on caste and religion issues. So where is the BJP coming here? BJP government is uniting every section of the society. When Devendra ji is talking about the progress of all the regions of the state, these people are talking about non-Marathi, Marathi issue, veg, non-veg issue. So these things are showing that, again, I am saying, opposition has bankruptcy of ideas. They don't know what to oppose because Devendra ji is doing fantastically. Mayuti is doing fantastically. So all these issues are being brought up. Why this issue was brought up? When Mr. Jitendra Awad said that I will do a mutton party. So Mr. Jitendra Awad was the same person who was the minister in that government when this circular was issued. Why didn't he do mutton party at that time?
Question for you. But Sameer, just a simple question. Are you for the ban or not for the ban?
See, we don't believe that we should not decide what people should eat or not.
Okay.
It's a circular which is issued by the municipal corporation. So if it is against the rule, let's go to the court and get it scrapped. So I am saying
that should be your responsibility. You're in power now. You know, Maharashtra has the most diverse population. So does Hyderabad, by the way. But BJP-led government in Maharashtra enforcing meat ban on Independence Day instead of actually scrapping it suo moto speaks a lot of your party stand.
No, Nabila ji, you are saying that BJP government, it's not a BJP government.
BJP-led coalition, and that's what it is.
No. BJP-led coalition as a state policy they have not issued. It's one municipal corporation based on the rights given to the municipal commission.
I agree, sir.
If it was a BJP, So it is not a state policy.
So then let your chief minister. Then why is Devendra Fadnavis reiterating that we are only implementing something that was implemented in '88? Why is he acknowledging this ban?
Nabila, can I come in, please?
Because when it was pointed to him that you have put this ban, he was just trying to correct the facts that it was the earlier government circular which.
Yeah, but there's also no willingness. Like at least in Hyderabad, I know for a fact that the Telangana, it's not the government, but the Telangana High Court has asked the civic body as to why the ban has been imposed. But I don't see any such move progressing in Maharashtra. So the ban will prevail, and we are talking about Independence Day tomorrow. Yes, ma'am.
Nabila, can I come in?
Yeah.
I would like to say that if they are, as this BJP spokesperson has outrightly said, that BJP is.
Okay, it seems like we have a problem with the connection. But a quick one, Mr. Shekhar, your take on what this ban really does. It's a no-brainer that you have a large section of the minority communities who sell meat, small business owners who will be impacted. Is there something that the opposition in Maharashtra intend to do to ensure that the loss is curbed? Of course, my question also to the ruling. What will you do when businesses are hurt? Are you not immune? Are you immune to that? Not sensitive to that?
See, even the Supreme Court says that there cannot be a blanket ban on any kind of fooding habits, the foods the people consume, and the government is not having such authority to keep a blanket ban on any kind of foods which are sold in the market. So, in any manner, if you say there cannot be a blanket ban. If somebody does it, it is liable to be challenged in the court. They can go to High Court, they can go to Supreme Court or any court. But eventually, on the day of independence, it is completely bizarre. And this government should not take such kind of decisions. Even the CM has to answer these questions. I don't know which CM is answering these questions in any state. So this thing should not happen in any state. But otherwise, also next day is Janmashtami. Okay, if it is Janmashtami, you could have made a ban on meat in the areas where the celebrations are done. You could have done that, but blanket ban you cannot do.
Ma'am, I'll let you have your word. Bhavana. Okay, her frame is frozen yet again. But a final word, Samir. This also gives a little nudge or a push in the wrong direction, right? You know that vigilante groups can bully those who are eating meat or maybe selling meat. And we know that Maharashtra is not alien to that. Vigilante groups are dime a dozen and they are known to bully, and it could very well happen. And your ban will only legitimize that.
Nabila ji, the ban is on the sale of meat, not eating of the meat. People can eat the meat at their home.
But we know how orders are interpreted, yeah.
And under Devendra ji's leadership, he is a home minister. Maharashtra is a state where law and order is in perfect shape. So even if some vigilante groups tries, the law will take its own course and strict action will be taken. So tell me one incident in Maharashtra where such vigilante groups have taken law in their hands and troubled people based on their...
Maharashtra is in the headlines for the last year, be it Kunal Kamra, be it your Marathi Manas protests.
Violence was done by MNS.
But law and order is in your hands, no?
So they were dealt with strictly, FIR was filed on them and action is being taken. So Maharashtra under Devendra ji's leadership is a perfect state for law and order. So don't worry, no vigilante group or nobody will trouble anyone who is doing his business.
So the ban stays in Maharashtra?
As of now we speaking, the ban stays in the municipal corporation where it was imposed by the particular municipal corporation. As far as state goes, state has not issued that circular.
Okay. I really appreciate your time, Samir, and Mr. Shekhar. Bhavana's connection is lost, but thank you very much for joining us with your views today. All right, let me quickly cut across to our top stories on day tonight. Let's start with Samajwadi Party, a party that has an MLA who took the courage against her party's will to praise Yogi Adityanath, now is expelled for doing so. Samajwadi Party has expelled its Chail MLA Pooja Pal for what it calls anti-party activities and serious indiscipline on her part. That's what the party says. The move came hours after Pooja Pal praised Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath inside the assembly during the monsoon session. If we have that where she's praising Yogi Adityanath, let's play that out.
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के आने के बाद मुझे न्याय मिला। मेरे पति के हत्यारे अतीक अहमद को माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी ने मिट्टी में मिलाने का काम किया। मैं उनके इस जीरो टॉलरेंस की पॉलिसी का समर्थन करती हूँ।
All right, so for the unversed, the lady here is a Samajwadi Party MLA, the opposition of Uttar Pradesh. She is praising the BJP face in Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath, saying that he has zero tolerance policy against crime, and thanks to him, the murder of her husband has finally, she has got justice after her husband was murdered by gangster politician Atiq Ahmed, basically thanking Yogi Adityanath for ensuring that Atiq Ahmed was eliminated. Now, Atiq Ahmed, we know, was a gangster that Yogi Adityanath brought down, he and his entire gang. In what fashion is questionable, but it has happened. Now, the lady has gone on to praise Yogi Adityanath, saying, "Thank you very much for what you have done for me and my family." Now, this has not boded well with the Samajwadi Party. Chief Akhilesh Yadav reacted quite strongly, issuing an expulsion letter, barring her from all party posts and meetings and all events as well. Here's what he said.
उन्हें अपनी टिकट पक्की करा लेनी चाहिए बीजेपी में। भाई अगर पहले ही टिकट बीजेपी ने दे दी होती इन्हें तो हम टिकट थोड़ी देते।
Pal there standing firm though. She says that she spoke all for her mother, for mothers, for sisters, all who struggled under the brutalities of such gangsters. Now let's listen in what she said after her expulsion.
उन गरीब और उन बेसहारा और उन माँ बहनों की जो जिन लोगों ने पता नहीं कितने लोगों की हत्या हो गई, मैं उनकी आवाज हूँ। इस तरह से पीडीए की ये बात करते, मैं भी तो पिछड़ी जात की हूँ। ये जो पीडीए का नारा दे रहे हैं, आज तो एकदम साबित कर दिया कि पीडीए के खिलाफ थे, हैं और रहेंगे।
Well, that seems to be a fresh point of trigger there, political flashpoint. How intolerant can a party be on truth? Well, Pooja Pal is a classic example to that. Now, very tragic to hear a story coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where 42 people have died in Jammu and Kashmir's Kishtwar district after cloudbursts and flash floods. We're looking at nearly 200 people who are currently missing. The disaster struck in Chositi village, the last stop before the Mikhail Mata shrine. In fact, 120 people have been rescued so far, 38 of them in critical condition, but a whopping 200 people are said to be missing. 42 have died. Officials fear the death toll may only rise. In fact, a large number of pilgrims were present there in that area for the Machail Mata Yatra when the cloudburst hit. The langar, packed with devotees, bore the brunt as flash floods swept away shops and homes. We know SDRF, NDRF, army personnel, local volunteers all now carrying out large-scale rescue operations. Situation is grim even as I speak now. The Machail Mata Yatra has been suspended to divert all rescue works as of now. Massive floods was also reported. It struck the Saspol area of Leh along Srinagar, Leh National Highway. We saw flooding that occurred there as well. So quite tragic there, the situation. Those are images from Saspol in Leh. Now let me take you quickly through what's happening in Delhi NCR region. Heavy rains that led to flooding in Delhi, Noida and Gurugram. One biker was killed in Kalkaji today after a tree collapsed on him and a car. And that tree collapse was quite dramatic. If we could play that out for you. Roads were flooded and you saw the biker and the car that was moving, and the tree just fell on the biker and the car at one go. And that's what it looks like. Very sad there. The biker passed away. Roads were flooded. IMD issued a red alert. Even for Delhi, it seems like the situation is grim. Now a quick look at what's happening in Himachal Pradesh. Spate of instances that have been reported in the last few weeks in Himachal. Cloudbursts and flash floods that hit Simla, Lahore, Spiti. Over 325 roads, including 2 national highways, have been blocked off. Multiple bridges have been washed away. No casualties though reported as of today. Uttar Pradesh, a quick look. All right, if I could take you through Lucknow. All right, we seem to have images from Bihar though. I will show you Bihar. Floods have impacted Bihar too. 25 lakh people across 10 districts have been affected and impacted. These are aerial shots of Patna that we are showing for you, of the way rains have inundated many areas. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar conducting an aerial survey. Those are the images we're flashing here. Relief operations are currently underway. The government says it's on high alert to ensure rescue of those stranded. All right, let's cut across to Karnataka, a story that's really left us disappointed. Massive gap, almost a black hole in crime data that's come from Karnataka. The Home Department of Karnataka, its own records show alarming reality that's happening in the state. And that's over 10,500 cases of rape against minors in just last 2.5 years. That's an average of 12 to 15 young girls who are raped every single day. This is exactly what the data of the Home Department suggests. And it's not slowing down. In just May to July 2025 this year, more than 1,100 minor girls in Karnataka have been sexually assaulted. That's over 1,000 shattered lives in only 92 days. But here's why it gets really disturbing and upsetting. The NCRB's 2022 data, its report there, claims 0 cases of minor rape in Karnataka. Karnataka's police own 2023 crime report says 0 cases of crime or rape against minors in Karnataka. So how do we really reconcile 0 with over 10,000? That's reported on one hand and 0 on the other. Is this a case of faulty reporting? Is the data being buried? Or is there just glaring loophole in how these crimes are categorized? But I'm not too sure if the authorities here are trying to hide something. But from the latest data we see here of the Home Department, it's left us shocked. Imagine over 10,000 minor girls who've been raped in just the last few months. The contrast is just too stark to dismiss as just clerical error. It forces us to ask, what exactly are the Karnataka government and the police trying to cover up here? Because when data disappears, so does accountability. And in crimes this grave, well, silence is only suspicious. Very sad story coming in from Kuwait. At least 13 people have died. Over 60 people are hospitalized after drinking suspected poisoned liquor. The victims are mostly Asian expatriates who are Malayalis, Tamils, several from Andhra Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. The incident took place last Sunday in Jalib Block 4, where a group allegedly consumed liquor that was laced with toxic alcohol and methanol. Reportedly, that was accessed from a local vendor there. So far, 13 people have died of spurious liquor in Kuwait. Of the 63 who are hospitalized, 31 needed CPR, 51 had emergency dialysis, and 21 have suffered partial or permanent vision loss. Many are still critical. Authorities are yet to release the list of full list of victims there. What makes this even more alarming is that Kuwait strictly bans alcohol. Yet, this comes despite recent crackdown on illegal sales. It seems like these people try to access it illegally, and that's what happened to them. Methanol, the toxic culprit here, is a chemical used in industrial products that was mixed here in alcohol to give you a quicker high. Even a small amount can cause blindness or death. Experts have long warned that unsafe brewing of illegal liquor can leave dangerous methanol levels. Security agencies are now racing to track the source of this liquor, but for dozens of families, sadly, the damage is already done. All right, a quick look at what happened in Pakistan today. Pakistan's Karachi Independence Day celebrations descended into deadly chaos. In Pakistan, at least 3 people were killed, among them an 8-year-old girl who was struck by a stray bullet in Azizabad and a senior citizen in Korangi after their Independence Day celebrations went violent. Well, this is what you call an absolute banana republic. Authorities say that 64 others were injured in the indiscriminate gunfire that marked Pakistan's Independence Day, celebrated on August 14th. police have launched a probe and promised action against those responsible, calling the firing reckless and dangerous. Incidents are not new like this in Karachi. Whenever they celebrate in such a fashion where they fire bullets in the air, and people have died even in the past. In fact, more than 230 were injured in a case that happened in January this year. 42 people, including 5 women, were killed due to gun violence in Karachi. Many of those deaths, the police say, were caused by stray bullets, all by aerial firing. Out of excitement, they fire in the air. Well, that's the story for you from unruly Pakistan. Thanks very much for tuning in. I'm going to wrap this right here. Have a great night. We'll be back here tomorrow. A very happy Independence Day in advance.
जी सत श्री अकाल
मेरा सोना मेरी खेती नू 4 चांद लगा रहा है
बल्ले बल्ले हो गया इधर बड़ी कर साहब कैसे का है
मेरा सोना मेरी दुकान में स्टॉक बढ़ा रहा है
हजारिका बाबू की खबर
हाल खबर सर मेरा सोना मेरे बेटे का म्यूजिक एल्बम बना रहा है
बढ़िया बढ़िया एकदम बढ़िया तो अपने सोने को काम पे लगाइए आज ही कॉल कीजिए 1-800-313-1212 पर
मारो